How to continue with this now? I think the best thing probably. Respect to. Let's see if I got that right. Yeah, it's just exactly the right place. Check that this is on. Looks okay. There's 35 mil. And the center can be somewhere on that region there. Am I right there somewhere? What was it supposed to be? 35? 35. Sounds so easy. So 70. Okay, there's all our wee bits and pieces. Put these guys together. I don't want to drill straight through and go into straight into this MDF, because this is what happens. See if I can show you this. See how it splits, and after a while that would just come apart, you know. So I could use solid timber, which is what I tried here, and this is better, and I've got stuff that's thicker than the MDF, and that seemed to work out okay, but I just find there's a lot of tear out, and as well as that, solid timber tends to shrink and expand and whatnot when it gets inside into the centrally heated situation, whereas the MDF is a lot more solid. And when you have something that shrinks and expands, sometimes the shafts stick, and so I'm going to stay with the MDF for the moment, see how I get on with that. So that means I've got to come up with an idea of how to put these together.
Just weeks after the disappearance, according to new information, a site agent estimated my investigative credentials. Oh, okay, mate. How you doing? Yeah. I know, the microphone. CIA, something like that.
That's lined up nicely.
I've got the stolen horse sitting on my wall.
Well, that looks perfect.
So this serious theft officer came in and asked me my name. I confirmed that.
Yeah, sticking a wee bit. Tried once before, it didn't work very well. But I'm going to try it again. A bit of talcum powder to lubricate these things.
I've done all the acting, but I think it was the way it had been stolen. I mean,
oh yeah, that really helps.
CCTV and stuff.
Bigger than about 6 centimeters too much. I've made myself a little crank wheel to go on this end. I've drilled out the cogs and made some shafts. Let's put it together and see if it works. Oh, nice action so far. Just going to pass it over. Planning on my part. Now, let's see. Well, there are the gears in. There's a wee crank handle on the end, and it will pass, as you can see there. But the gears are sticking, and that's because of shoddy workmanship on my part. They will go if I force them, but that's no good. So what I'm going to do is take the gears off and clean them up a bit. A little bit of sanding, and perhaps that will help. Yeah, you can see where there's a bit of a problem there. Okay, that's all right. Not too worried about that. Well, getting these cogs right took me a lot longer than I was expecting. Had to remake them completely, and they're still not quite right. But that did teach me a great deal, which taught me a lot more than this one, which I got right first shot out of the box. And that is a perfect example of something called Cathy's Law. I learned, for example, that the smaller the gears, the thinner the little teeth have to be so that they can mesh properly with these bigger ones. I also found out that this plywood is not really the most perfect material to make cogs out of, because there are a lot of voids in cheap plywood, and it makes for a very messy wee gear. So I'll have to come up with something about that. I think the next step here is to decide where to put this hole so that the moon is operating in the optimum place. I think it's pretty good where it is there. So I'm just going to replicate on this one what I did on this one. know what I need there. I need one of those. Came out even more wonky than the other one. Okay. I know what I need there. I need a. Well, that's okay. That'll do. Mash up those gears. Make sure they're okay. Looks good. Put that in the lowest point where I can manage it. Thread this through. And then put the screw in that I have selected for this. Little pilot hole already drilled. It's nice and straight. And I'll just borrow the moon from the prototype first and see how we get here. Oh yeah, that's nice. That looks okay. Okay, got the cams in, and I've got it marked up for the holes on the top for the plungers to go in. So let's drill that and start putting it together. Okay, take that bit off. And I'll go and drill some holes in it. You wait here and I'll drill holes in there. I think we need a wee bit of lubrication up here, so I'm going to use this talcum powder. It is just ordinary baby talcum powder. Just work that into the plungers, or whatever you call these uprights here. Make sure I don't spill that. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. I think it's time to start carving a few little figures. Fred and Ginger type figures. So let's see how big do I want these. Not quite. Make some paper models. And just stick them on. So here are the little paper figures. Give me an idea of what the dancers ought to be, how they ought to be sized. I think they're a wee bit big and clumsy looking, but just not sure right now. I thought I would just go for it when it came to carving the little wooden figures, but not going too well. This lady here, if I can just get her on here, she's a bit kind of, you know, humongous compared to her paper template. She's more like Tessie O'Shea than Ginger Rogers. So I think I'm going to have to take a different tack at this, and I'm going to use some plasticine and see if I can't make something a bit more appropriately sized, and then I'll make my templates from that. This wee lady's a bit more the part, isn't she? She looks about the size. I could have danced all night. I could have danced all night. And she's about the right size that I want. And here are the drawings that I made by transferring her measurements onto this. And then I made some templates. From the templates I drew onto a block of wood. There's what's left of it. And I cut out this without her head, but that's the general shape of her body. So here's the wee dancing lady in place. I'm quite pleased with the shape of her skirt here and some of these nice, what would you call it, kind of ruffles or something like that in her skirt, and her feet and her arms are on. Well, the one thing that I have learned about this is how fantastically time consuming all this is. And so I'm having second thoughts about putting 4 of them in. Maybe what I could do is reduce the number of cams to 1 to each shaft and just have 2 dancers. And that would certainly speed up the process. Well, a good hour has gone past, and I've got her little hands on, and her head and her hair all together. So let's plonk her on and see if she'll dance. Oh boy, that's a whole morning's work really to get her as good as that, and she's still not really finished. Okay, I'm going to call Ginger done now, and I'm going to try to apply the things that I learned from making her to making Fred. Blob of plasticine. Okay, Fred. And well, I thought I was showing you all this while I made Fred, but unfortunately the camera wasn't running, so this is as far as I've got. I think what I'll try and do now is make a little set of templates from this and start making a wooden Fred. Okay, here's all the bits and pieces now cut out. Now a lot of carving, messing about. Okay. Here's Fred finally done. Just to see if I can fit him on there, like so. And I've taken the 2 other dancer plungers out. Actually, I think I like it better like this, with just the 2 of them. Oops, he's fallen off. I think we'll call the template version finished. Time to make some proper ones now.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him 2 lips like roses and clover. Then tell him that his lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm so alone. Don't have nobody to call my own. Please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him the word that I'm not a rover. Then tell him that his lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm so alone. Don't have nobody to call my own. Please turn on your magic beam. Oh, Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Sandman,
Yes?
bring us a dream. Give Give him a pair of eyes with a come hither gleam. Give him a lonely heart like Pagliacci, and lots of wavy hair like Liberace. Mr. Sandman, someone to hold, would be so peachy before we're too old. So please turn on your magic beam, Mr. Sandman, bring us, please, 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 Mr. Sandman, bring us a dream.
And dance by the light of the moon.